roaring engines, G-force speeds, and serene views.
It's cheaper than a shrink. Just the amount of freedom you have doing it is great.
The Wings and Wheels event brings in over 200 airplanes to the Richland Airport each year. You can find anything from light sport pleasure aircrafts to military planes from World War II to even home-built experimental planes.
That kind of look funny, the tails on the front and the engines in the back.
I got a crash course on what it takes to be a pilot from one of the very best.
I went to an aviation college and started work at Northrop Aircraft on the B-2 bomber, transitioned to NASA Flight Research Center at Edwards Air Force Base.
After a quick pep talk, I suited up, got my helmet fitted, and was ready to hit the runway.
Typically it's just G-forces. When you're in an airplane and you're turning hard, you can go 2, 3, up to 9 times the gravity, and that would make your body feel like an elephant just sat on you.
But it wasn't just the G-force speeds that took my breath away. It was the incredible views of the Tri-Cities, right side up and upside down. And then the time came for me to take the joystick while we cruised at nearly 200 miles per hour. Addicting, to say the least. After some twists, turns, and quick ascensions up to 28,000 feet in the air, it came our time to land.
Okay, Rio, you just went flying. How does it feel?
Oh my goodness, we hit 4 Gs. I didn't puke. I'm very proud of myself. 12 out of 10 experience. And after that 45-minute ride, a piece of my heart was left in the sky.
Aviation right now is low on people, a lot less pilots than there was 20 years ago. And you know, the more kids we can inspire to come out and look at airplanes and see that it's real and you can touch them and you could go do it if you want to, it's great.
My mom used to say this to me, corre con lobos, aprende a aullar. What that means is run with wolves and learn to howl.
Ana Ramirez is a local artisan that hand makes beautiful earrings. But it wasn't just her passion for jewelry that led her to start her business, Loba.
I really want to be unique and different, so I kind of started, to make my own designs.
Ana has lived with anxiety and depression ever since she was a little girl.
I was abused when I was younger, so I think it came from me not talking about it as a child, and it just, I held it in.
When words seemed to fail, she turned her love for art into therapy.
I needed something that was going to help me when I was at that point of anxiety to calm down, and therapy wasn't it.
She used to make earrings out of random objects around the house.
I would just grab whatever I would find, bottle caps or even sticks.
And now she uses clay.
And I'll look for patterns that I like in the clay just to mold them out. I get really happy when I'm doing this. I'm never upset or frustrated, and it's a lot of quiet time for myself. And there you go. I just made you a pair of earrings.
Ana wants others with anxiety and depression to know that they're not alone.
And I think now my generation is talking more about it, and I'm now have the tools to recognize with my kids if that ever did happen to them.
And the biggest thing she learned is to use her voice.
Don't be scared to get help. Talk, because it's the only power that we have is our voice, so use it.
In Kennewick, I'm Rio Barber, Cap KV Local News. The Great Prosser Balloon Rally has been a family favorite tradition for the past 30 years, bringing smiles to those young and old who get a chance to see these hot air balloons up close. But it does take a village to get these 800-pound balloons up in the air with 40 gallons of fuel. And that's if Mother Nature decides to cooperate.
We gotta see what the winds are gonna do to us, but I'm hoping.
With the cold morning temperatures, it took a while to get enough heat into our balloon, but thankfully we were able to get off the ground, tethered by a rope and held by the grip strength of our 5-person crew, even lifting some off the ground in the process.
I got whipped around a little bit.
But as quickly as we were able to lift off, the pilot only had so much control over the direction of the balloon once it was in the air.
He could control how fast he went up and control how fast he went down, and he had no control of anything else.
Mercedes traveled down from Yakima the past 2 years, hoping for the chance to ride in a hot air balloon. Today, that wish came true.
When the fire was on, it would ripple. You could look up and see the waves, and it was clear. Made it look kind of like when you look through a kaleidoscope.
And with the view of the mountains and nearly 15 hot air balloons floating above the Prosser Airport, it was the perfect check off of her bucket list.
Like, it was just so beautiful. You could see literally everything.
In Prosser, I'm Rio Barber, Cap KV Local News.